Life is hard. Thinking it should be easy makes it harder. Why am I talking about this? Why am I recording this video? I want to talk about my own life, put things into perspective. I've had a tough week. I think I've had a tough year overall. So this week I got sued on Monday. On Tuesday, the buyer for my own property called me saying that there's water damage and I'm looking at potential damages there as well. And it seems that this has been one of those weeks when nothing is working. So why do we automatically think that when life actually doesn't go according to our plan, or when there's adversity, it's a failure? Because we have this illusion that it has to be fun and easy. I look at it this way. Life has to be fun, but it doesn't mean that it has to be easy, because if we can't deal with the uncertainty and all the adversity, we just don't know how to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. If I go back to my own life and if I look at the biggest success stories I've had, I would say that probably my ability to stay in the game when it comes to business for 16 years and my 32 years or 33 years at the gym, just despite of all the troubles, setbacks, minor injuries, tweaks here and there, I've been able to stay in the game and just like do the hard things over and over and learn how to enjoy that. So in this video, I wanted to actually give you some examples as far as what my principles are in life and what are the core things that I follow so that I stay on the right path mentally, and how I learn how to deal with that hard stuff in life and deal with uncertainty, right? So lesson number one, we quit or take it easy because we can't handle uncertainty. I think if you look at people overall, so we much rather torture ourselves by actually thinking about those negative things in our life, paint the worst case scenario on the wall instead of deal with uncertainty or that unknown, because it's so scary, not knowing what's going to happen. So using myself an example, if I get sued, automatically my brain goes into a mode where I'm like, okay, what about the damages? What if I lose this thing? Am I liable for this and this and this? So instead of just like being okay with any outcome, saying, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm perfectly fine with any outcome. But since I can't handle that well, then I automatically start dwelling on the past and thinking about all the negative stuff. So I torture myself with all those bad thoughts, okay? So lesson number two, success is actually actions, not the short-term results. Why? Well, I'm a big fan of this one-day cycle principle, meaning live in a one-day cycle. Every morning, start from scratch, and your only job is to empty your tank and do the things that were important that day. And that becomes success. So why not looking at the goals, the end results at all? Well, actually, you don't have to worry about them, because in the long enough time horizon, you always get what you deserve in life. So it doesn't matter. So if I don't get what I want in 5 days or in 5 years, I zoom out. And I know for a fact that if I just put in the work, put in the reps, I'm going to always get what I deserve down the road. So why do I have to worry about it? I don't. Lesson number three, confidence is the same as proof from the past. If I had to start something new that I have never done before, I think it would be fair to say that I have no confidence. But what about something I've done many times? Like I always refer to my quote unquote fitness career. So I have plenty of confidence. You put me in any commercial gym in the world, I know the proper form and technique, and I'm plenty strong when it comes to my age group and all of that. So I'm very confident in knowing what I do. But if you ask me to go skydiving or scuba diving, I have never done it before, I would have zero confidence. I think it's good to keep in mind, because people oftentimes say that, well, I can't start this new activity, I can't start this new business or do this new thing because I have no confidence. Guess what? Nobody has any confidence because we haven't done it before. But if we have the tools in our toolbox to know that if we just put in the work, the volume, the reps, we get better, and that's how we get confidence, right? I have this cheat sheet here, that's why I look down, by the way. So number four, environment is always more powerful than your own willpower. What does it mean? It was a podcast or a presentation by Alex Hormozy where he said that keep in mind that your environment is the most powerful thing. So when let's say you have a presentation in an auditorium and you say people that, hey, what do you think? What would it take for you to all strip naked? People would be saying, well, why would I do that in front of everybody here? Well, if you set the circumstances right, people are doing whatever it takes to survive and, be able to continue, right? So you set the temperature at 150 degrees, in that auditorium, in the meeting room, and of course people start taking clothes off so that they would survive. That's just obviously an extreme example, but the way I use that in my own life is that I actually travel a lot. So I find myself behaving in a different way, doing different things when I travel. So if I want to change my behavior, I change my circumstances. So in other words, people, places, jobs, and so forth. So if you want to act in a different way, hang out with different people, or move to another country, or even move to a different city or different place, from single family home to a condo, so that you have less maintenance work and whatnot. So change your circumstances, change your behavior. So those are the things that I go by personally. Those are my principles, because I'm so comfortable with the idea is that life is not supposed to be easy. Hard is actually okay. Who am I to say that this bad feeling or this adversity or this challenge that I'm facing right now has to be bad for me? It could be the best thing ever, because every single feeling that's attached to that challenge, so to say, could be the best thing ever. It's very unique. I'm never going to be in that situation again in my own life, given time, people, circumstances, and everything that's going on. So why can't I enjoy that moment? So going through tough times, at least we are out of our comfort zone, and that's how we learn the most. Anyhow, so these were my thoughts. If you like the content, if you like what I'm saying, please subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. And anyhow, happy Friday, and I'll talk to you again in the next video.